looking down at these bare feet, I want you to look around them and tell me what kind of ground are you standing on there?
I'm not standing on the ground. The ground beneath me, like floating.
You're floating. Very good. So if you're drifting and floating, you know that you can travel anywhere. So what I want you to do now is I want you to just connect with your body there and tell me, do you feel that you have a body there? Do you feel that you're a male or a female?
Female.
You're a female.
With a body, yeah.
So knowing that you're able to look at yourself from different angles, I now want you to tell me, what do you imagine you look like? What clothes are you wearing there?
I've got a white cotton dress on. Above the knee.
Above the knee.
Blonde, cropped, well, like a bob style hair. Blonde.
Very nice. And how old do you feel? What's the first numbers that come to mind?
23.
You're 23 years old. And what do people call you in that life? Just imagine someone calling your name now. What's the first name?
Valerie.
Valerie. So we're now here with Valerie now. Valerie, what I want you to do now is I want you to just turn your head from the left to the right for me and tell me, are you inside or are you outside? What's your first impression?
I'm outside.
You're outside. Is it daytime, Valerie, or is it night?
Daytime.
It's daytime. So, looking around now, using your imagination and your senses, tell me, whereabouts are you? Are you in a village, a town, or on a mountain top? What do you imagine is there?
Stay in the clouds.
You're staying in the clouds?
In the clouds, yeah.
So what do you do in the clouds? Are you just observing?
Just floating. Yeah, floating.
So what is your job? Is that your job, to float through the clouds?
Not sure.
Well, let's just move forward. And as you go floating through these clouds, are you able to meet people along the way?
Yeah.
So describe what you would see along your way. What kind of things would you see?
Like above the clouds, it's like I've got wings on it, but I can go faster through the clouds. I can't see anybody, but I'm right above the clouds, if you know what I mean.
Do you feel like you're an angel? Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
So, what is your job then to be around these clouds then? Are you looking for something or have you lost something? What do you do?
I'm not sure.
Well, let's just go to the next step. Just see yourself now going to a time when something happened when you were in those clouds, and I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and when I get to 1 you're going to be at that time. So when you're ready, 3, 2 and 1. Describe to me, are you still in the clouds now?
Yeah.
So what is happening?
I'm just floating like this.
You're floating with your arms like this?
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh. Are you moving energy like that?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel different. Light as a feather, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, are there other angels there that are doing the same there, Valerie?
I can't see anyone around me now.
You don't have to see them, you can just sense them. Have you got this mission on your own, or are there others that are doing this same thing?
Yeah, there's others, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do they monitor people on Earth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do then? When you monitor people on Earth, do you go down to help them if they're in trouble, or do you just watch?
Not sure. As I'm thinking now, I'm just watching.
You're a watcher?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Tell me, do you work with Archangel Raphael?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought so. So you're working on a healing ray? Mm-hmm. Well, what I want you to do now is I want you to go to a time when something is happening for you, something that's significant. So I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and when I get to 1 I want you to be at that place. So when you're ready, 3, drifting and floating through time and space. 2 and 1. So where are you now? Are you still drifting through the clouds, or are you somewhere else?
I'm still in the clouds, it's getting darker.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So are you higher up or are you lower?
Let's see.
About the same. Mm-hmm. So this darker energy that's around you, how does that make you feel? Just feel your emotions and tell me how it makes you feel.
I don't like the dark.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I want to do now is I want to ask you about any past lives that you've had before. I know that you're an angel there now, but have you had lives on Earth before? You'll just know a yes or a no. No.
Not what I can think of.
So, this life here today, is it the first life on Earth?
I don't think so, no.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would like to be able to speak with those around you now. So what I want you to do is, I want you to make an intention to go towards the people that you work with, all those different angels and Archangel Raphael. So as you have that in mind, I just want you to go drifting and floating forwards, gathering them up now, telling them that you intend to meet them. 3, 2 and 1. And tell me, how many of you work as watchers? How many souls do you see?
Oh, they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So do these watchers watch and observe people on Earth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that their job? Are they allocated different people, or do they just watch?
Not sure, they're all in white, everyone's in white.
Uh-huh. Are they tall or are they small? Are they wide? What do they look like?
They're all blonde.
They're all blonde. Mm-hmm.
All about in the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Young, yeah.
So they're young souls?
But not any younger than 18.
So is this part of their lesson then, to be able to be a watcher?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. when you're not a watcher, what other things do you do for spirit there? When you finish being a watcher, what other kind of things do you do? Do you have a group that you go to? Is there a soul group that you can go to?
No, not for group, it's just like one big massive group.
It's a massive group. And what do you get from this massive group then? Why do you all meet up? What is it that you get from this big group?
We talk.
And as you're looking around this group, I want you to look around this group and see if there is someone in this group that you're more familiar with than the rest. So as I continue talking.
Yeah, there's a boy, not a boy.
Describe, tell me more.
Blonde. Similar to me in white.
Is it a male or a female?
Male.
Male. How old do you think they look? Just see a number.
18.
About 18. Does he have a name? Ask him what his name is. Christopher. Have you worked with Christopher before?
I feel like I have, yeah.
Well, as you look at Christopher now, because the eyes are the windows to the soul, I want you to look into his eyes and tell me what colour are his eyes?
Blue.
They're blue. So as you look into those big blue eyes of his, I want you to go right deep into his soul, right to the very, very soul, and tell me, is Christopher in your life today? Is he working with you down here on earth today? Do you just see a flash of someone? No. Very good. So you say that you work with Raphael. Has he trained you?
Yeah.
And are you part of his healing group? So tell me, why has Raphael agreed for you to have a life today? Call on Raphael now. Just with your mind, I want you to call on Raphael and feel his presence coming to you now. As if he's standing right in front of you, and ask him, why have the life today? What is significant about this life? What does she choose?
To help people.
And how is she going to help people? What can she do?
Healing.
Healing?
Healing, yeah. I think I feel like I've got to learn from a previous life. I did something wrong. Wings clipped off.
You got your wings clipped off?
Yeah.
In a previous life? Ask him to tell you more about that. Let's go to that life. We're just going to go and watch the movie. So as you go drifting and floating through the timelines now, we're going to go to that life where you had your wings clipped off in a previous life. 3, 2 and 1. What happened in that life?
Broke some rules. Don't know.
You broke some rules. So you had your wings clipped?
Yeah, power was taken off me.
So your power was taken off you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To learn.
What was it that she was learning?
To come into this lifetime to learn and to reincarnated to learn to get back up to the level where I was before.
To get back up to the level. And tell me, how is she doing today, getting back up to that level? Is she doing good, or could she do better?
She could do better, yeah.
She could do better. Mm-hmm. Can I ask, do we have permission to speak to Danny today in that spirit realm?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what I want you to do now is I want you to make an intention to call on Danny now. Make an intention to call on him, and as I come draw closer to you, yeah, taking all his love, taking nothing but love from him. See him in front of you now, and tell me, how does he feel? How does he look?
He's smiling.
He's smiling, yeah. Mm-hmm. And now that you can telepathically communicate, yeah, you don't have to think, you just have to know. What message is he giving you today? What message is he giving you today? Mm-hmm. So is the message that he loves her and he's always going to be with her?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Always with her, yeah. Always with her.
Yeah. Ask him, is he okay with everything here? Is he happy about her life now?
He's good.
Yeah, very good. Mm-hmm. What I want to do now is I want to ask Danny to step forward and even closer, and I want him to surround you now with all his love and his essence. And I want you to feel that unconditional love from the spirit realm, knowing that he's only a thought away from you now. But you're living on this earth and you have to live without him. What was the lesson? Ask him. Why did you two contract to come down together? What was the contract?
For me to help him.
And did she help him?
Tried.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So will he be coming down to learn another lesson?
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Ask him. Maybe he'll stay up there for a little while. Mm-hmm. So how will she know when he's around her? What kind of things does he do to make her know that he's around her?
I can't explain it, but it's one old journey. It's really complete. Complete.
He makes you whole and complete. Mm-hmm. So ask him how you're supposed to live your life now. What does he say? Yeah. To be happy. So there are no regrets.
Yeah. He just says he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it.
He couldn't handle it. Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes we take on tasks that are a little bit too much for us.
And it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't your fault. That's a big message that she needed. It wasn't her fault. Mm-hmm. So asking this relationship that you're in now, did he send you to him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he sent Clive. Very good. What I want to do now is I want you to now just hold in for that moment there, knowing that he's always just a thought away. But now we need to move on. So I'll bid him farewell, and you'll see him again soon. And what I want to do is I want to speak to your inner self. That's in the back of your mind, your subconscious self. So what I want you to do now is take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just feel that you're stepping away from your body slightly, just to allow your inner mind to come forward and use your voice today. And this will be your inner self. Good evening, inner self. Can you tell me, are you male or are you female? How do you feel?
Female.
You're female. Mm-hmm. Do you have a name? What can I call you? Victoria. Hello, Victoria. How many lives have you had with Lisa?
Thousands.
Thousands? And what is it that you're working together on?
Helping human beings.
Helping human beings. Mm-hmm. And how is she doing so far?
She's doing well, but she's she's had a she's got to learn still.
She's got to learn. Mm-hmm.
Otherwise she's got to come back again.
She's got to learn, otherwise she's got to come back. Uh-huh. So what kind of things does she need to learn? Tell me more. Does she need to learn about her boundaries, or does she need to do something else? What is it?
I need to learn how to find her powers again.
Oh, she needs to learn to find her powers? Uh-huh. Tell me about these powers. What kind of things does she do with these powers?
Heals people.
Mm-hmm. Is this through some form of Reiki or energy? Or is it through crystals? How does she do it?
No crystals, no anything like that, no. Just through the mind.
Mind.
The higher angels.
The higher angels?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Michael and Archangel Raphael.
So she works closely with them? Yeah? Well, I'll be sure to tell her. And when is she supposed to be starting this new task to be connecting with them? Should she start straight away, or should she wait a while?
She would have started a long time ago.
Right. Well, now that she's...
So abused her body. Abused her body.
Mm-hmm.
Abused her body too much.
So she needs time for healing and then time to get to work.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much. What I want to do, Victoria, is I want to do a body scan now on her body. And we're going to start at the top of the head, just like we're giving an X-ray. And I want to start at the top of the head, and just as if you see a light going all the way down from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom, and it'll just rest in places where we can work today, where she might be holding energy that we can let go of today. So let's start at the top of the head and just work your way now from the head all the way around the back of the eyes and the cheekbones and the jaw, down the neck there, across the shoulders, around the torso and the chest, all the way down the arms and into that tummy area, around the hips and down the thighs, all the way down to the ankles, to the tips of the toes, and scan all the way back. Victoria, is there anywhere we can work on the body today? What's the first part of the body that springs to mind?
Tension.
Tension. Where does she hold that tension in her body? In her solar plexus?
Oh, yeah.
Victoria, what I want you to do is I want you to go as small as a cell now, and I want you to go all the way down as I touch you now to this solar plexus, yeah? All the way down, travel down, and as you're now walking around this tummy area, just describe to me, what do you imagine it feels like?
Constant, anxious, tense, panic.
Yeah, and where is all this from? Go back in time to the very first time all this began. Is it in this life or is it in a previous life?
This one.
It's in this one. So Victoria, what I want you to do is I want you to feel yourself around all that anxiousness and that panic, and I want you to travel all the way down to the very root of it and tell me, how old was she when all this panic and anxiousness began?
About 30.
She was about 30. What was going on with her when she was 30?
This was my youngest daughter's dad.
So was it not a good match? No. Does she need to carry all that anxiousness inside her? No. Victoria, are we able to get rid of that today? Are we able to release it and take it back up to spirit to be healed? Yeah. Well, so Victoria, what I want you to do is I place my hand here now. Go inside this solar plexus, and as you walk around, just gathering up all those memories, just like you were pulling the weeds out of a garden. Just see yourself now pulling all those memories up. They don't serve her anymore. We're having a nice tidy up. And just put them into my hand, because my hand is like a magnet. And the more you pick up, the stronger and stronger my hand becomes. Just see yourself picking all that anxiousness up now. And have I got all that in my hand? Well, I'm going to take that and I'm going to offer that up to Raphael. And I'm going to call on Raphael, one of your tutors and angels now, to come forward. And I want him to place his hand here. And I want him to pour in the colour green, that spiritual, beautiful colour, that renew, that liveliness, that energetic green. Just like a hose, all that lovely, beautiful energy is pouring in like a rainbow into this solar plexus, and just see how it's healing all that area now. Going down into those roots, healing it, making it calm and relaxed. Calm and relaxed. And I'm going to tap you on the shoulder and seal that in. Victoria, take another look in the body and tell me, is there anywhere else that we can work with today? Anywhere else in the body we can work with? Or do we get to the questions? Hands. So as I hold your hands, tell me, Victoria, what's going on with the hands here?
Yeah. Should have healing hands. Healing hands.
Healing hands.
And
So-
trauma. Then healing gone. No healing. No.
So the trauma prevented the healing from taking place. So where have we got rid of that trauma now in the solar plexus, or is there any more trauma in the body?
Heart.
In your heart. So, as I connect with your heart now, I'm going to connect with your heart, and I'm going to ask now for all those memories in your heart that caused you trauma to come forward now. Victoria, go in there and tell me, is this trauma from this life? Yeah? Go in there now, Victoria, and stop bringing all that trauma up now. It's time to collect all that trauma and take it back to spirit to be healed. The more I talk, the weaker and weaker it becomes, until it just seeps into my hand. Have I got it all now? Thank you very much. I'm going to offer that up to you, universe. And may the light of the universe always accompany you. So, as we're at the heart centre now, I'm going to call on Archangel Gabriel, the messenger, to come forward, and I want him to pour in all the love and the joy and the hope and the confidence that she needs. And see all that, the joy, the love and the confidence, just pouring into her heart now. And see how it changes her attitude and changes her mind, so that she's totally positive, a totally positive mindset. That's right. And I'm going to tap you on the shoulder and seal that in. Is there anywhere else in the body that we can work on today? Or shall I get to the questions?
The question, yeah.
So can you tell me about these panic attacks? Have we cleared all those panic attacks out now?
Yeah.
Very good. And she tells me that she had PTSD. Have we managed to clear the trauma of that PTSD away now? Very good. And you tell me that Danny actually put you and Clive together. Yeah? Can I ask you, Victoria, how many guides does she have?
10.
10? That's a lot of guides. What do they do for her? What do they look like?
They're angels.
They're angels. So does she come from the angelic realm then?
Yeah.
I want you to see those 10 angels and ask one of them to step forward and give you a message. So make the intention for one to come forward now and telepathically communicate with them and tell me what message do they give you?
That I'm very high up and I need to use
You're very high up
high up
and you need to use
my healing power to help others.
She needs to use her healing powers to help. I'll be sure to give her that message. Can you tell me this feeling that she has of abandonment? Have we managed to heal that now?
Just about.
So tell me, whereabouts is that little bit that's left in her body? Where does she hide it?
Not pure heart.
In here. So I'm going to connect here. And I want you, Victoria, to go in there now and just unlock those last few roots. Going deeper and deeper, that's right. And see yourself untangling those roots now. And as I talk to you, notice they're getting weaker and weaker and just draw them into my hand. It's time to let them go. She has a job of healing. She's a powerful angel from the angelic realm that's come to work. And I want all of that. Have I got all that trauma now? Thank you very much. I'll take that from you. And I wanted to ask one last question. I wanted to ask about her dad. It's something that she feels that she needs answers to. So have you got any answers for her today?
Yeah.
So who is her father?
My dad. My dad, yeah.
Your dad is your dad. Thank you. So is there anything else that we need to discuss today? Can I ask when Lisa goes to sleep, does she in her dreams travel back to the angelic realm?
Don't remember dreams.
You don't remember dreams? So how do you connect with the angelic realm? Because you're part of the angelic realm. What do you do to be able to connect with them?
I don't know to connect with them for a long time.
And is that the reason she needs clearing today? Because it's time to start?
Yeah.
So how is she going to start practicing? Is it meditation? Is it meditation? Okay, thank you very much. I'll be sure to tell her. So now that we've come to the end of the session, I want to thank those that have been working with us.